All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got another product review slash solution for problems we've had in the past since we started this YouTube channel with our recording. One thing is we don't have a lot of electronics on our kayaks. We don't run trolling motors. I've got a very basic fish finder. So does my dad. We have a single battery. You can actually see it right there. That's my little blue fish finder battery. It's enough to power my fish finder for like 2 8-hour trips. So I'm not going to run anything else on it, and I don't have cabling run through my kayak for anything else. I've only ever drilled the holes for that battery, and that's it. So when I started using a front camera on up on the front of my kayak that's facing back towards me, so I can show you fish at a better angle. One of the most annoying things I had to deal with was switching out batteries. On the head cam, it's not that bad. It's very hard to get an external power pack for the head cam because it's going to be kind of heavy if it's going to be worth anything. If it's going to hold the battery for, more than, a couple hours. So, the head cam is not that big a deal changing batteries, it's right there. But that front camera, this is my Yak Attack camera pole. And I love this thing, but it's meant to stay mounted on your kayak, not come off every 45 minutes to an hour, which is what I was having to do. Whenever one camera went dead, I knew the other was shortly going to be dead as well. So if I changed out the battery in my head cam, I went ahead and changed this one out, and it took 2, 3, 4 minutes, especially with this one because you have to take it off, get it, get the battery changed out, put it back in there, and then you have to aim it again, which kind of defeats the purpose of this front pole where you just stick it and leave it. So having to change that battery was just a pain. And 3, 4, 5 minutes might not seem that big a deal to most situations, but if you're fishing a tournament and you're trying your best, every minute counts and that kind of thing. So I needed something to help with this issue of keeping my front camera powered. This is what we ultimately went with. This is a YOLOtek Juicebank. I'd looked at several other battery options, and this is just the one that came most highly recommended. And I've been using this for 6, 7 months now. And I got to say, this is one of the best purchases I've made when it comes to recording. It makes a big, big difference because all you got to do, it's a very, very simple little thing. It's a battery in here. You run a cable in here. This has got on the port. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I'm lazy, so I just leave this in there 24/7. But you've got 2 ports in here, right there. That's a USB-A on the top and then a USB-C on the bottom. You can charge the juice bank through the USB-C port, not the USB-A, but that USB-C port also can be used to charge your camera. So if you're like me and you don't want to have to pull this waterproofing putty out of it every time, I just leave this USB-C cable plugged in to the camera, and I leave the silicone packed in there, and then I just use this both to charge the juice bank and to plug into my camera. Now, it will run roughly 7-ish hours is what I've found, plus the life of the camera battery. And I'm running the Enduro batteries. They last significantly longer than the regular ones. That's one of my favorite GoPro accessories is the Enduro batteries. I have several of them, and since the 13 came out, it's a different battery format. I've been stocking up on those because you can never have too many Enduro batteries. I love those things. But back to this thing. Very, very simple design. You just stick this on a regular GoPro mount right there. You can see that. All you got to do is stick it right like that into your mount and then screw it in like a normal GoPro. And then you put the GoPro on top of it. Pretty simple. Very, very light. You might notice with that front camera, if you've seen my recording setup, it's not straight up and down. It's kind of at an angle from the side of the kayak to the middle. And it can get a little shaky if you're kind of bouncing back and forth or moving a lot like I tend to do. I tend to move around a lot of my kayak. So it can get a little bit of sway going if you've got a setup like that. But it's not a very heavy thing. This thing only weighs 8.5 pounds, the battery by itself, and then the weight of the GoPro. So If you've got something vertical, it's not going to sway a whole lot. Mine could probably be more stable if I had a double mount instead of just a single mount for my camera stick, but that's a little bit down the line. I just need to order it and put it on. But I've been very happy with it so far. Again, very simple. You just attach that there to whatever you're going to attach your GoPro to, and then it's got a single button. This button right here, you push it, and you've got those 4 little blue LEDs that tells you the battery level. And that's it. It automatically charges once you plug it in. You just plug it into the side there, and you'll see the red GoPro light up, maybe if it'll show up on camera. It's not showing up on camera, but all you got to do is plug it in. It starts charging. At the beginning of the day, when I get my camera set up, all I have to do is take this cable, plug it into the GoPro, hit record, you're good to go. It's so simple, and it's great for me because, again, I don't run electronics on my kayak. It's just not my thing. And this has been a great solution so far. I absolutely love this thing. Now, this has a lot of uses outside of just kayaking. That's just what I use personally. I do a lot of kayak fishing, and one thing you have to do to make this truly waterproof, it will come with some of this silicone putty that keeps it waterproof. That's why I've got it stuck in here. That keeps the GoPro waterproof, water resistant. And then you also have to do the same thing up here with the GoPro itself. Now, if you're not somewhere where it's going to get wet, all you have to do is take the door completely off, which is pretty simple. You just pop it, you open it up, and you can pop the door completely off, and you're fine. You just plug it into the USB-C that's inside of the GoPro here. But if you're going to be out on the water, I highly suggest getting a one of these power doors. You can also get those at YOLOtek's website, and it just basically it replaces the regular GoPro door, and it gives you a little port so you can plug your USB-C in, and then you take some more of this silicone putty and you wrap it around the plug there, and you make sure it's good and packed in there, and you're good to go. I've fished with this juice bank in significant rainfall and splashing from high winds. I've never had any issues with water getting anywhere it shouldn't. So that's a very good thing if you're going to be using this for kayaking, fishing, any kind of water sports. It's really, really worth that investment, is that power door. Because you need to keep it waterproof if you're out kayaking. That's just a great product if you're looking for something to power your GoPro for anywhere where you're not going to have a permanent power solution, or you don't want to have to switch out batteries, every hour to hour and 15 minutes, depending on what batteries you're using. I highly suggest the Juice Bank. I've taken this thing out and run 8-9 hour trips out on the kayak, and I don't think I've ever had my front camera go dead. In fact, I know I've never had it go dead, and we'll be out there for 8-9 hours sometimes, and it's kept this thing recording nonstop. So if you're looking for that, there'll be a link in the description below. Just like with when I reviewed the sunshade, we are members of Team YOLOtek, which means we're part of their promo team. But like with Kistler rods, we were using these products before we joined the promotional team. So we're not just using these because they, endorse or pay us or anything like that. We were using this beforehand. It's just great to be on the team so that we can, endorse products that we really enjoy and that we really use. I'm not going to endorse something that I don't know about. I'm not going to endorse something that I don't use. I'm only going to endorse something that I have found as a good solution to a problem. And I got to tell you, that front camera having to switch out the battery nonstop was a very big issue. And this was worth every penny. There will be a link down below to YOLOtek's website if you're interested in checking this thing out. You can check out both the Juice Bank and the Power Door. Make sure you get it for the 9 through 12 is what the Power Door is meant for. They might have one for the 13. I haven't checked. I don't have a GoPro 13 yet. It's a new form factor, so not form factor, that's computers. It's a new shape to the camera, so it's got new batteries, new cases, all that good stuff. But if you're running 9 through 12, just get that Power Door, get a Juice Bank, and you're good to go for at least 8 hours, maybe as much as 9 or more. I've never had this thing go dead on me. So if you have any questions about our kayak setup, about the juice bank, its use, or anything else when it comes to recording or anything in general you've seen on this channel, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. We'll do our best to get to them as soon as we can. Uh, Again, this is a solution to a problem that I've had, and I hope that if you're having something similar, uh, that this helps you make a decision on what your best solution is. So I believe that about covers it. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you in the next one.